All right, so explain how the assassination of Franz Ferdinand started World War One. So you might have to think back to the other causes to World War One. So think back to MANIA to help you with this response. Right? It wasn't just this assassination. I get it. This was the final straw. But right, there's a lot more leading to this. Right? The whole last chapter we talked about with imperialism. All right, that's one of them. That was leading to these tensions, this hostility, this competition amongst all these European powers. Anyway, so we got time to work on that. All right, here we go. So assassination of Franz Ferdinand. Who did it again? What was this guy's name? Who did this? Why did he do it? Jason, please. Yeah, yeah, Vrilo Princess. Good job. And where was he from? What organization? But the Black Hand. Good. All right, so we talked about this on Friday last week. So when it comes to Franz Ferdinand, he saw this as an opportunity. All right, Austria-Hungary saw this as an opportunity to move down here to this Balkan region. What empire was declining down here and was retreating back, which opened the opportunity for new nations to form. And in that, Austria-Hungary is like, oh, easy targets. We can expand. We can make our way down here, right, in the Balkan region. Go ahead, Elena. The Ottoman Empire, good job. So as the Ottoman Empire is declining, someone has to move into this vacuum. Someone has to move into this area. And Austria-Hungary saw this as an opportunity. But these new nations are starting to form. All right, real quick, Serbia. All right, so as Serbia was getting targeted by Austria-Hungary for this assassination attempt, who are they allied with? Who are they friends with? Which makes things a little hairy. And as this assassination unfolds, we see the war breaking out here shortly after. Luna.
They were allied with Russia, who was allied with France, who was allied with Great Britain.
Perfect, good job, right? So as Serbia, right, was getting demanded by Austria-Hungary to put their troops in, to control their media, right? When it comes to trying to weed out the black hand. So marching into people's homes, their businesses, right, their places of work, right? You can see how this is just an encroachment of their power. Anyway, Serbia adheres to some demands, but not all of them. And as Austria-Hungary is declaring war on Serbia, Russia steps in, right? Russia is their big brother, so to speak, right? Russia is a Slavic-speaking nation, this culture that they somewhat share with Serbia. And this is where this war begins. Right, so obviously, Germany, Austria-Hungary, they're going to link together. Right, when it comes to Russia, they're going to link with Serbia, but also France. And then Great Britain gets dragged into it. Right, real quick, we're going to talk a little bit today about how Great Britain gets dragged into it. Towards the end, you guys remember that cafeteria fight scene we went over? Jason, did you read that for us? Thank you, sir. Thank you. All right, Germany decides to take an unconventional means of entering France or targeting France. And where do they go? Where do they go? This was kind of crazy. Where do they go? Who do they attack through? You remember I said in the cafeteria fight scene, you guys can look to it. Right, Germany rolls up his sleeve, looks France dead in the eye, and punches someone. Punches someone. And you guys will know more here at the map activity. But who does he punch? You guys remember? You guys remember here? Oh, Jason? Jason, huh? Huh? What do we got? What's up? Yes, punches Belgium. Good job. Punches Belgium. All right. So you're wondering, where's Belgium at? Well, it's right here between Germany and France. So this small little country right here, okay? So as you can see, it's right in between Germany and France. All right, we're going to talk about the Schlieffen plan today. Germany's going to have an idea, a plan, which on paper looks pretty good, but it doesn't work out for them. Real quick, here's a good political cartoon, which if you want to add this to your graphic organizer, your MANIA organizer, this would be a good one for the alliance systems. Right, you can see how all these countries get dragged into this war. Right, as you can see, there's little Serbia. Right after the assassination, Austria-Hungary is looking down to beat up on Serbia. Right behind them, well, Russia's going to protect Serbia, which is little brother. So Russia is stepping in and try to help them out. Right, with that, we already know Austria-Hungary and Germany are good buddies. So Germany comes in to protect them. And then in the background, you can see France and then Great Britain coming to the fight. Right, coming to this conflict. So this is how all the alliances, again, get dragged in, okay? All right, so real quick, let's get to the nuts and bolts of it here. All right, so as it looks like war, great. Okay, so real quick, as we're looking at the Triple Entente and the Triple Alliance, all right, there's going to be two main powers that emerge from this conflict. And there's a lot more countries than what's listed here. I get that. But these are the main countries that I'm looking at here, right, that I want you to focus on throughout the majority of the war. Obviously, we're going to join in at some point, right? The United States will join in 1917. Very close to the end. Or do we finish it all? All right, well, anyway. So as you can see here, the powers start to emerge. All right, so the Triple Alliance, real quick, will change to the what powers as you're looking up at the slide? The Triple Alliance will be known as this. Austin? The Triple Alliance. Oh, boy. No. No. That's essential. All right, yeah, good job. All right, so with the central powers here, you're probably wondering, why are they called the central powers? Well, Germany, Austria-Hungary, they're right in the center of Europe. Dead giveaway, right, Audrina? Yeah, okay, so dead giveaway, right here, central powers. They're in the center of Europe. It makes sense. All right, so with Germany, Austria, and Hungary, right, they're now part of the Central Powers. Real quick, Italy, they jumped ship, they jumped sides. And there's a lot of reasons for it. One of the biggest reasons is that they unified right around the same time as Germany, but they're not near as strong. They're not near as militarized. Also, they depended heavily and got bullied around by Great Britain, right? Everybody kind of knew that Great Britain still was a strong dominant power. They control all the shipments, all the naval movements, right? All the economics through many of the waterways. So you didn't want to tick them off. So Italy jumped ship, right? They jumped the Allied powers. But real quick, I only have these three main powers listed because these are the three main countries doing the bulk of the fighting. All right, so real quick, Central Powers again, we got Germany, Austria, Hungary. Again, it's easy to know because it's right in the center of Europe. And then you got the Ottoman Empire. All right, real quick, the Ottoman Empire, make sure you write this down, might be on the quiz. They're known as the old man of Europe, meaning they're declining. They are not industrialized as many of these other European countries, right? Let's face it, they depended on trade through the land route, through the Middle East, connecting to Asia for so long. Well, are all these countries dependent on that land route of trade anymore? No, they haven't. So in other words, they just were fine with sitting at the Mediterranean, controlling trade, and not really innovating whatsoever. And if you don't innovate, you don't adapt, if you don't imperialize other nations, well, chances are you're gonna fall apart. Survival of the fittest, social Darwinism, remember? There we go. All right, real quick, there's the Ottoman Empire down here in modern day Turkey, right? They have some possession here, moving up to what we know as Bulgaria, but it's declining. Remember, it's declining. It's moving back down into this area. All right, real quick. Allied powers. We got France, okay? We got Great Britain and Russia. All right, real quick again, France and Great Britain, they are seeing eye to eye now, finally. Why? Because there's a new threat to the world, and that's Germany. Okay, again, the Franco-Prussian War. Obviously, France isn't going to be too happy. They got their butts whooped, right? Germany crowned their Kaiser, their new king, in the Palace of Versailles. So that's a rivalry already happening. Right, again, that naval arms race before World War I started between Germany and Great Britain, they're not seeing eye to eye either. And Great Britain and France realize they got to come together if they want to stop this behemoth, right, in Central Europe. All right, and then there's Russia. Okay, there's Russia. All right, real quick with Russia, I want to make sure you guys know they're not as developed either. Right, they're not as developed either. So when it comes to industrialization, they're lacking. They're almost like the Ottoman Empire in many ways. Right? They're not near as modernized as these other European countries. So that means they don't have great transportation. Right? That means they don't have great means of moving troops or great weaponry compared to Germany. That's what's going to help Germany out here. All right, real quick, the Schlieffen plan. All right, I do have an assignment, but I think I'm not going to put it out. I don't think I'm gonna. How would I put it out like I did for? Remember the German unification assignment I put out? I'm gonna put it out and you guys can look at it. You guys can use it as a study tool. That's what you can, yeah, that's what it is. But real quick, I'll give you the nuts and bolts of it here quick. All right, so with the Schlieffen plan, what happens? So here's Germany, okay? Obviously, as this war begins, as it starts, okay, they are already fighting a what front war from the very beginning? What front war? Audrina?
Like,
Yes, a two-front war. Good job. Why? Well, because France is over here and Russia's over here. I mean, just look at the map. So Germany has to do something quick. They have to have a decisive victory very fast, and they got to do it before Russia can mobilize its troops. Again, I already mentioned Russia is not really modernized at this point. They're not developed. They don't have the trains like, let's say, Germany has, and how they won so many wars here in the 1800s. They don't have the proper innovative weapons, right? That are up to date, that are modern. So Germany thought we can take care of France like that, like we did in the Franco-Prussian War, and then we can focus our attention on Russia, right? So with Germany, they're biting off a little bit more they can chew, right? So anyway, real quick, just to give an idea of what's going on. If you're France, you're going to think that Germany's going to invade you where? Where do you think they're going to invade you? Elena? Yeah, on the border right here. They share a border with one another. Okay, good, good. So with that, France has been loading up this line for many, many years, ever since 1870, ever since the end of the Franco-Prussian War. They call this the Maginot Line, right? You'll see this reappear during building up to World War II against the Nazis here. But Anyway, they start to defend this line very heavily. They started to put bunkers, they started to put many weapons on this line. They put a bulk of their military down here to protect themselves against a German invasion. Because it's gonna happen, it's inevitable, right? They hate each other. And Germany's not yet done. All right, so with that, France has been loading up this line forever. Germany thought, well, this would be kind of dumb to march right through here, right? They've been defending this thing since 1870. So there is a lot of hostility, a lot of danger. What if we just decide to invade through a neutral country, right? What if we decide to go through this small little gap here and attack France? That'd be great. That'd be awesome. So on paper, right, this is known as the Schlieffen plan. I was gonna have this as a vocabulary, but I think you guys can write this down. Right, the Schlieffen plan was a German plan, a German idea that we'll try to evade this heavily defended area against France and then actually just march through Belgium, right? Belgium's weak, they're small, they don't have a big military, no one's gonna see it coming, no one. So it acts like a swinging door, as you can see here with the movements, right? So Germany thought, again, this is before it happened, that they just march right through Belgium, right? And they will collect Paris, which is France's capital, right? Easy, boom, 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 right? And swing all the way down. Again, that swinging door. And pretty much just surround or outflank the national line here, right? The French troops that are defended here on this border. Okay, so yeah, they'll put some troops down here to try to keep them present, right? And make sure that's like, hey, we might come through this line, but we might not. And then that swinging door action, this quick, decisive victory, they can capture Paris and move all the way down and have a quick surrender of France. That was the idea, but it didn't happen, right? One of the reasons is because France had a little bit of intel. They knew a little bit. And the reason for it is because Great Britain controls all the communications. All the telegraph cables run through London, right? Why? Yeah, okay. They run through London. So any type of communication, if you're sending a telegraph, right? All the connection goes through London. It's crazy, I know, right? And if you're Germany, you're like, what? We want to send a message to our front line. It not just goes here to here. It has to go whoop, up to London and then back down. Right? So Great Britain had an idea that this was happening before. So with that being said, as Germany was mounting their attack, right? They marched through Belgium and Great Britain, France, they were ready for it, right? They came up here where Belgium is and protected it, defended it pretty heavy. And with that, the Schlieffen plan was stopped right in its tracks. And with that, this is going to create the Western Front, right? The Western Front, along with the Eastern Front, right? This is going to cause a stalemate of action. World War I, in many terms, is boring, very boring. There's not a lot of movement because it's known as what kind of warfare? Does anybody know? Well, Eli? Trench warfare, good job. So these two sides, the Central Powers, the Allied powers, they're going to dig down. Right, they're going to dig trenches. Here in the Western Front, 400 miles of trenches, 400 miles from the English Channel up here, all the way down to the Alps, right? 400 miles of trenches, and that's not really going to move too much. It's going to be pretty much a stalemate, a grind from here on out. So as that happens, think about it, right? Think about it. As France, Great Britain even comes into play, right? As they halt the German advancement, who does that give time to on the Eastern Front? To mobilize the troops and then start a real pickle for Germany. Luna, Russia, good job, right? So as that Western Front is halted, right? As Germany comes in and gets stopped with that Schlieffen plan, this gives enough time for Russia to send their troops in. And that creates that stalemate even more. That creates a two-front war that even Germany, this military might, can't really do anything about. All right, is there any questions, guys? So there's the Schlieffen plan. Here's the start of the war. And really, you're not going to see too much advancement. It's a boring conflict. But we'll talk about a lot of weapons here, right? In the upcoming upcoming lessons. And we'll talk a lot about trench warfare moving more into next week. Right. But real quick, I just wanted to set the stage with you. The causes. I wanted to talk about the alliance systems. I want to talk about the map, which, here you go. Oh, we're not done yet here. So here's the map. Map assignment. And you guys can use Cami to do it, or you can convert it to Canva, whatever you want to do. You want to edit it in the Photos app, that's fine, whatever, however you want to do it. Well, this is what I'm looking for. I also put a link to the map game on here. I'm going to have this due for Thursday. Gives you another day here then. All right, so this is what it looks like, guys. Here's what it looks like. All I want you to do is label, right? It walks you through it. There's directions, but it has central powers, the allied powers, and neutral countries. There is a second page. Don't forget about the second page. All right, so there's bodies of water that you need to know, and it's important to know, which we'll talk about with the Battle of the Atlantic. Okay. And then when it comes to labeling the countries, make sure you associate it with colors so you know the allied powers and the central powers. And then, yeah, there's neutral countries there too that you should probably know. All right, and then there's two questions here at the very bottom. Just answer your two questions. We already talked about it. We already mentioned about it already through the lesson today, so it should be pretty easy. All right, last thing. I attach a link to a game to help you study for the quiz. It's very simple, and whoever has the fastest time, 100%, you got to screenshot it. That's an extra credit point, okay? So let's do this here. Let's see what we got. All right, there's Portugal. Boom. Spain. Boom. Norway. Oh, Sweden. Darn, I always mess that one up. All right, there you go. Netherlands, Switzerland, down here. Great Britain, France, Belgium. There's Belgium. We just talked about it. Romania, down here somewhere. Let's see here. Let's see. Yup, Italy, Germany, Ottoman Empire, down here, old man of Europe, right? Sweden. There we go. Bulgaria. Perfect. Austria-Hungary. Serbia. Yep. Black hand, remember. Denmark. Oh, we know where they are. Russia. Boom. All right. Yep. I messed one up, but hey, 100% screenshot it, fastest time. 2 extra credit points. Let's do that. That'd be cool. 2, 3, maybe 3. Let's do 3.